Let me set up the session for you. So there are two workshops today. One is data governance. Number two is triangulation. Yeah, three types of governance: decision governance, measurement governance, and data governance. Okay. So we're going to focus on this part here today, data governance. Make sure that our data quality is good. The taxonomy is fully filled out. We don't have gaps in the data. So here, data governance really falls into three buckets. Okay, data quality checks, taxonomy checks, and compliance. If you're trying to implement data governance for your client, it's pretty important for you to understand that there's something called a log database. Now, why it's pretty important for us to have a log database is that you can write quality checks, consistency checks, completeness checks, and whatnot. It allows you a nice platform for you to create data quality. And we kind of grouped it into three buckets: completeness checks, accuracy checks, and consistency checks. Taxonomy checks are basically making sure that all the channels have properly taxonomized, all the records from the Shopify and from the platforms are properly taxonomized. Let me hand the baton over to Nikhil. This is called the data governance tool.
What you're looking at is a typical data ingestion pipeline. They only have a couple of data sources and one transaction data feed from Shopify. What you're looking at is a typical ingestion pipeline where we ingest Facebook raw data, then apply taxonomy on it. And we are trying to check the quality of this data and the process that the analysis pipeline is running on it, applying taxonomy on it by our metric and deciding if the data is usable or not. When we go in and look at the checks that are configured, like what this tells us currently is, as of now, the Facebook data doesn't look healthy. As a result, the taxonomy is not healthy, and kind of tells me that the ingested data is not 100% reliable based on like the three types of checks that Madan mentioned. One of the first ones is completeness with last update timestamp. The way of checking will look different depending on what type of warehouse the client is using. What we are checking is, when was this data last updated for Facebook, and what is the priority of it? If it is not acceptable for us, we'll mark it as an error and it shows up as a failure in our health metrics. If we know what campaigns we are running, we can actually compare and see if we have data for all the campaigns, right? Or if we have a superset of taxonomy or tactics, we can check. It can help us identify issues in incorrect taxonomy rules.
The triangulation tool supports 4 data sets, out of which 2 are sales and 2 are media. Now, once you get this data, see that by customer type, what is the weight of returning versus new versus churn. You get your weights from here, and then you apply it to your Google and Facebook export. Here it is. Again, this is the schema we request you to follow. You have to build out the channel. You have to taxonomize your data into a channel definition. So now, in order to run triangulation, at least you need one sales data set and at least one media data set. So we will go to the triangulation tool. So we will generate a new study. We will go through the 3 P&L study. You can maintain your multipliers like this, and then we can help you onboard them, and you can use them over here. We'll generate the study, and once you've checked out the how to section, you can go to the channel list, and then we go to the selections page. So we've just created a facility for you over here to hide and unhide in bulk. So you would want to do some data validation, and then we go into the actual triangulation part. So you select that platform, and all the numbers will auto-populate, and you can see the percentage contribution. So here we've got base attribution and advanced attributions, and whatever you get out of MMM modeling exercise. So this is the process of triangulation. You use multiple sources as your base attribution, multiple sources as your advanced attribution. You bring all of them together. You stitch them over here in a view like this, and then you make your selections, and that becomes your decision support system.
These multipliers will be calculated specific for clients, or is that like a standard that's applied across clients?
How did we select the winning tranche? What's the process for that?
Who owns this data governance mechanism?
How much do you code around if you can?
I'll catch you in the next workshop. Thank you so much for your attention and great questions.